So the next two kits we're going to put up are the Botanical White Pelargonium kit and the mossed, or is it ruffled? Mossed or ruffled white pelargonium kit. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of those two, but it comes in this pot. So the mossed or ruffled, can't remember which one the name is, comes in this gorgeous 14cm sort of fluted ribbed pot and matching saucer. And then the Botanical White Pelargonium kit comes in this sort of more simple sort of scalloped pot. A really, really popular pot that we have when we bring it in. Yeah, just a really nice, simple, sort of kind of quite stripped back terracotta pot. I'm going to pot it up in this one, and it's exactly the same. They're both 14cm diameters, so it's identical, but by just doing one, I won't hopefully bore you rigid. Okay, so in your kit, you will have your gravel, your compost and your moss. You'll have your pelargonium and your pot. And I'm going to show you how to pot them up. So you're going to add in your gravel to the bottom of the pot. The purpose of the gravel is just to add drainage to your kit so that your plants' roots aren't sat in water for a prolonged period of time. We're then going to add in sort of a handful of compost just to sit on top of those gravel stones. And then after giving your plant a really good drink, I'm just going to take it out of its pot and then just simply sit it in. And I'm just gently sort of compressing that compost of the plant down. And I'm just going to add in a very small amount on top, just a handful. Now the purpose of this handful of compost is just to add in some sort of new nutrients from some new sort of peat-free compost. So that's about it. That's how you sort of initially pot it up. And then I'm going to add in the fresh moss on top. I'm just going to break that into sort of little sections and just simply pop that on top of the compost. If you want to give your moss a bit of a drink before you add it, you can, just to sort of revive it a little bit. It doesn't really matter. This is quite dry, but it is fresh, but it's still green, and it just sort of tends to dry out if you don't water it. It's completely up to you. But I suppose when you then water the plant, it will then get wet again anyway. So that's how you pot it up. In terms of looking after your pelargoniums, they're a really, really easy plant to look after. They are quite tricky to kill, and you'll find that once all the flowers have faded at the end of the summer, you can still keep your pelargonium on your windowsill or wherever you've got it, and it will come back next year. So don't give up on it if you're thinking, oh, now it's just those boring green leaves. Embrace those boring green leaves for how beautiful they are and how gorgeous they smell. And then wait till next summer, or sort of very early summer, and you'll start to see little buds appearing, and then it will bloom into these gorgeous white flowers next year. So keep your pelargonium nice and damp, doesn't like to dry out. So I, in this weather, in the summer, would be watering every sort of 2 to 3 days. You can water 2 different ways. You can either water just from the top, making sure the soil is getting wet, not just the moss. And just, give that a couple of times until you see the water come out of the bottom of the pot into the saucer. That way you know that all those roots at the bottom have been watered properly. Or, and now this is probably something I tend to do more in the summer, you can fill a clean kitchen sink, obviously with no sort of detergent or like spray in it, with nice fresh clean water, and then just pop your plants in there. So fill it up sort of this deep, literally just put your plant pot in there and let it have a nice soak. And then I would do that as well if you're going on holiday for longer than sort of 2-3 days. Fill up your sink, put all your plants in it, give them a nice bath, and they'll be happy when you get back. Okay, so that's watering. So every sort of 2 to 3 days, keep it nice and damp. Then in terms of sort of general upkeep of your plant, you might find that some of the leaves start to go a bit yellow. Completely normal. It's just a nutrient kind of struggle between the leaves. So it just means that that leaf has got less nutrients than, say, the next one. So you simply just sort of take the leaf, follow it down to where it meets the main stem, and then just snap it off like so. In terms of the florals, when they start to go over, you take your index finger and thumb, and you simply snip off using your nails at the stem. So you don't take the whole flower head until that's completely gone and all those buds have bloomed. You just individually take off the flowers once they've gone over, and sort of you'll see where they meet the sort of main flower head, that's where you can pinch it off. That will then encourage the other little buds to bloom. Once the whole thing has gone over, I'll show you on this one, once the whole thing has gone over, you follow it down to where it meets the main stem, and then you simply snap it off. So if all those buds had all bloomed, that's the time to take that off, just get rid of it, and then you will find that the little new buds, a little bit further down the plant, will then grow up and sort of replace that flower head and start to bloom. So that's it. So keep your soil nice and damp, so water every 2-3 days. Place it somewhere sort of sunny but not too bright, it's not really fussy. It obviously won't like a dark room, but just pop it somewhere that's getting a decent amount of sunlight, but it's not going to be, it doesn't need to be a south-facing room at all. I have mine on a windowsill, which is perfect. It's getting a nice amount of indirect light. Pop it on an island, pop it on a breakfast table, pop it on an alcove shelf. But yeah, just enjoy watching it sort of trail and grow, and you'll find that it will get bigger and hopefully come back next year as well. So those are the, Botanical White Pelargonium kit, and either the Ruffled or the Mossed Pelargonium kit. I can't remember what it's called on the website, I'm really sorry, but it's the one in this pot. So I hope you enjoy.